back once again with our word jar and our sketchbook, and let's pick what we've got today to draw with me. So we got this one, and now I can't open it. There we go. We have growth. Oh, why did I have to get such a deep word today of all days? Oh well, let's try it. Growth can mean a lot of things. It can be growth of one's development and self-being. It can be the growth of a plant. It can be a lot of things. I am here again with my pink pig sketchbook and the sketch from last week. You can see that video linked probably in the corner here or somewhere. Okay, let's get our pens and pencils ready to tackle this word and figure out how we're going to sketch growth. If I can get it, there we go. Okay, so growth. You've got personal growth, the growth of plants, the growth of a living person and animals. I guess the first thing I do think of when I see the word growth is my own personal journey and how I've grown from when I was like small to older. And I'm going to use my pencil for this actually. I don't think I'm brave enough to do straight ink today. So I guess it really depends. I could do like a two-sided thing, which would be really cool. So I guess you've got like your little... I am an artist, and so when you're an artist you grow and develop quite a lot in a variety of different ways, whether that be your skills in art or the way you think in art to improve. I definitely felt when I was a kid I had quite a large imagination, and I would always like focus on just wanting to draw whatever I pleased, not really thinking of what it would look like. And I kind of miss that aspect that child me had, because I'm going to be honest, I do miss that quite a lot actually. Felt like I had so many ideas bigger than me, bigger than what I could achieve with my current skills. And that didn't even come up to my mind, to be honest. But I just had little saplings that had not yet bloomed. I guess you could call your art progress. Your art progress is like its own type of plant that you need to nourish and water. I like that a lot. Because sadly, and I've discovered this, definitely as I got older, that there are going to be people better than you when it comes to art, or especially certain aspects. Like, I always have to look up a tutorial anytime I want to do a certain painting piece, because despite the fact that I've done it before and I'm not the worst at it, I constantly forget certain things I need that make it look good. It's looking pretty sweet. Very cute. I think feeling like this when it comes to your art development is normal. You're like, when you're a kid you don't really think about that sort of thing, I guess, unless you're like from a family of artists and stuff like that, or something. And it's kind of brought into your brain, or you go to like an event where you meet really cool artists. And I think I remember when I started taking art more seriously was when my dad took me to, oh god, I was so young. I can't even remember the name of the place now that I think about it. And my dad took me to like this, it was this little horde of cottages in this deep wood. I know it sounds like something out of like a little fairy tale, but there was like this horde of cottages, and inside all these cottages were like all these artists with all their artwork. And there was this one lady who did amazing watercolours. I really wish I could remember the name of this place. I do know it's in the UK, so that's something, I guess. But I remember being so like in wow of the work, and I think that's the first time I actually ever felt concerned whether or not my work looked good enough. And it was really weird. I'm not sure why my dad ended up taking me there. I think it was so that I could get a better understanding of where I could take my art, or where my art could take me. But I definitely feel very blessed to have like parents that were very supportive in my creativity. I know quite a few friends that were not so lucky, and yeah, they liked to take that out on me because I was encouraged at home and they weren't. It's a strange thing to happen when you're a kid and you don't really think about it, or you don't truly understand it, and you don't know what to do about it. But it's alright, because as you get older, you meet new people. You're not just going to be surrounded by the same people forever, which is definitely a good thing, because I do not think I would be such a happy person if I was still around people from my childhood. And I once again figured all that out by when I was talking to this lady, and I was so awed by her work, because obviously when I was younger we didn't really have the internet to do stuff like that. I think we still had dial-up, if I'm remembering correctly, or like computers without dial-up were still expensive or something. I can't quite remember that far back, sadly. I'd have to double check with my parents on that, but so this was like the first time I'd ever seen like another artist's work framed up, because obviously I watched cartoons as a kid. I loved cartoons, and I would draw. Well, I actually wouldn't draw from the cartoons I watched, actually. I would take ideas that I got because of shows I watched, like Pokemon and Digimon, and all that sort of stuff. I remember I've watched Invader Zim. I really loved that show as a kid. I was so sad when it just suddenly disappeared, and I was like, what happened? Because it just ended with a Christmas episode. I got so confused. That is the weirdest picture of Zim ever, but oh well. Make him pretty. And I used to watch TV shows and cartoons all the time. I think the first ever anime I watched that wasn't Pokemon was actually Mew Mew Power, and I absolutely loved it. It was so pretty, and I wasn't really into all the girly stuff when I was a kid, but I don't know why, watching that show, I think it was because they portrayed the girls in a way where they were fighting. they were the ones, you know, fighting the bad guys, and the aliens just made me laugh so much. I think I remember in the English dub, the first alien is called Dren. Oh god, I'm getting reliving childhood memories here. He was such a nerd, and then I realised that Dren is just nerd backwards, and I think maybe that's why I found him so fun, because I've always had a thing for nerds, and I don't particularly know where that came from either. Yeah. What other shows did I watch as a kid? Why is it you can never remember or never like think of the shows you watched as a kid when you want to remember them? It's so weird. I don't think Teletubbies counts. I'm not sure. Why not? Teletubbies count. Apparently I loved Teletubbies, so yeah. No idea what they look like anymore, but oh well. Oh, Care Bears was one of them too. I remember that. Don't know what this is just a TV belly. Maybe with a heart in it. Or combined Teletubbies with Care Bears. I don't know what's going on anymore, but it's fun, so who cares? Oh, the classic My Little Pony. The classic My Little Pony, where like the My Little Ponies were drawn very chunky, kind of like the original toys. I loved that show. Minty was an absolute sweetheart. I had all the DVDs and the movies, and I can't draw horses here, and I'm also running out of room, so bear with me. But I absolutely loved them, and I think a big reason of that was because the horses were fat looking. I really related to them because they were chunky, and I was a very large child, especially compared to my older sisters, who just loved to let me know that I was fat. Which back then was considered, you know, something to be made fun of, and obviously all the women in my mum's family are bigger than most people. So my dad always told me it was a genetic thing, and my mum used to tell me that too, and that I shouldn't listen. But you know, when your older sisters who like, they tell you that you're fat or that you're ugly or that, you know, you're asking if this piece of artwork looks nice for attention, it can really damage you. So if you're an older sibling or you're going to become one or anything like that, just remember that your words do have an effect, even if they seem like they're just passing words. It's never very fun to, you know, have to go through all that as a kid. Yeah, I feel like I've just made this go very depressed-y in a way. But either way, I keep rambling and getting off topic. I was talking about cartoons, and I guess that was the type of artwork I saw, and I never drew from the cartoons. I would make my own ideas, based off, kind of like if I saw Pokemon, I'd be like, I wouldn't want to like draw Pokemon. No, I'd want to draw my own Pokemon and have my own world of magical creatures, and just like have it all be for me. And it was very weird. And I probably need to find some old sketches or something. Because it has been so long, but it would be really good to look back at all of my old artwork. Maybe I'll do a video on that if anyone's interested. My old art from like a small child to like secondary school, which is high school in the UK, to college. Oh god, college work, that's years ago. And even university work, that's, oh, we're going back quite a while now. Oh, I can already feel the cringe if I end up doing that. So yeah, you could cringe out with me if I ever do that. Maybe I'll do a poll on Twitter or something, who knows. I'll colour the rest of that in later. So yeah, so far this looks pretty damn cute. Not really very good, but this sketchbook isn't about being good. It's about picking a word where you start somewhere and with what you like, and then you grow, and that's what, you know, growth is. Oh, it's upside down. Growth is. So let's go to the me that's grown. I still have plenty of growing to do, especially in my art and my mental health, and just in life in general. I do know that I don't know how to describe any of this, I guess, but I definitely have a better understanding of self and what I want to do. I want to do far too much, in my personal opinion. I am constantly doing projects that I want to do, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, I have to do this one as well, and this one, and this one. So now that I'm at the growth where I'm liking my work, and I have like my precious little plant in my pot. It's a part of me. It's sprouted and it's grown, and now I'm going to have the roots coming out and going everywhere. That looks pretty cool. I've just got so many ideas now, and so many projects I want to do, and stories I want to tell, and it can get quite a lot, especially when you have no self-control like I do, and you want to do everything, but you're also on a time limit, and you have like adulting to do. Adulting stuff sucks, but it needs to be done. It's kind of something I missed from when I was a kid, not having to do all the adulting. Oh dear, please excuse me. Maybe I should stop doing these so early in the morning before work. Yeah. There we go. I don't know why. The sound of the pen on the paper, very satisfying to me. So yeah, looking through this in a way of growth, I can definitely see where I need to continue growing. This is the kind of the good part of like reaching a part in your life when you get older where, or just through experience in general, whether it be wisdom or experience or whatever is on your character sheet, you can still grow, and that's a good thing. You never want to stop growing, like ever, but you want to make sure you know you're growing the correct way, where like you're not just doing the same thing all the time, or you're not spreading yourself too thin, which I have an absolute, I'm absolutely guilty of. I have so many projects going on that none of them ever really get completely finished. I'm still working on quite a few now. I'm starting to, I've decided to put some on hold, and I've also decided that I will just try to focus on maybe 2 projects at a time for like personal stuff. Like I've got a comic coming out I want to do, and well, I've got 3. I've got a lot of storytelling stuff I want to do, but I do know that it takes time, and that's why I can like appreciate, and I don't mind waiting for stuff to like come out, like Vivsy Pop's Has Been Hotel, or Hell of a Boss, which looks absolutely amazing. Episode 6 was bloody nuts, and I'm oh my god, it was just amazing. I'm so glad they took their time with it. It was so cool and so inspiring, and I feel like I need to give myself a bit more time to do things and let things come to their own, you know, let my projects find their zone of where they want to be in, and then I can actually maybe finish one for a change. That would be nice if I could finish a project. Just doing all the roots here, they look pretty good. There we go. This is probably going to be a bit too much detail or little pieces all together, but that doesn't matter because this sketchbook's not about being perfect. There we go. I can feel my hand going and I need one of those pen grips. Those would be very helpful. So I've got all sorts of projects in mind, from like eyeballs, not just a project on eyeballs, but like a good advice eyeball that would give advice, or just not good advice, you just give people advice, and that would be it. But obviously I do love stuff with like my own characters. It would be super cool to do that. There we go. Just go full supercharge. What I want. I definitely want to work on the comic ideas I have. I need to, maybe I'll do like a poll or something, or ask you guys what type of project I should do, because they're not, I've made sure they're not too lore heavy, because I know that can really break someone before their comic. I did recently get Star's how to web comic from her Kickstarter, and it was amazing, and I'm learning so much from it, and it's definitely making me think more about preparing these ideas I have before I start actually doing the comic. Because it's really hard to decide sometimes what you want to do. Do any of you go through stuff like this? I know everyone does, but I know people go through it in different ways, where they either have severe burnout, which I never actually used to have trouble with until recently, when I had so much more going on aside from my art, and it sucked. It absolutely sucks. She's so damn cute. Can you not agree to the cuteness? Absolute cuteness. There we go, that's better. How would you deal with stuff like this? For me, I have to take a step back, and I really have to organise everything. but it's also a double-edged sword because I sometimes go a bit overboard and organise everything to a T, never giving myself room to breathe between everything else I have to do. Because being an adult, you do have to like make sure you can survive in this world that it just really seems not to want people to live comfortably anymore, which I find is quite sad, like really sad. So yeah, we got my advice, we got this idea I've had for ages and I absolutely love the idea. Then we've got, a lot of my ideas are also, like when I was a child, based off of stuff I like Fallout New Vegas, for example, and Skyrim, and just like, not full-on copies, but it's more the fact that you make your own stories when you're playing these games, like who the character is and stuff like that. And sometimes you just want to do fun things, like I want to turn my dog into every type of Pokemon, and every type of like monster from mythology. I think that would be really cool. Oh, I can feel my hand cramping. Please excuse my bones clicking. Yeah, it's and there's just like so much stuff you want to do, and you have no idea when you'll be able to do it, or if the idea will appeal to you. You don't want to lose the idea. Just so much. It's overwhelming. I can't quite remember what I was talking about now, so I apologise for that, but this has been quite nice. And so here's our finished little sketchbook page. It's very cute and it's full of like a lot of random kind of stuff. You got the growth of one side and like the growing on the other, and I like how it kind of represents different forms of growing, whether it be through plant life or how one develops and then grows and kind of creates their own like ideas from the inspiration they had as they grew up. It's really cute, and it's definitely a lot more sporadic. I think that's the correct word. If not, then blame my dyslexia. But I definitely wanted to stay away from colour, and I think it definitely worked out for the best. My hand is not as in much pain, which is great. So yeah, check out the last video, and I will be doing one of these every Sunday. So I hope to see you then, and for any more of my artwork you can follow me in my social media down in the description below.